morning, chat. How y'all feeling today? Good morning, good morning, good morning, man. Hold on, let me fix my why my camera so close up? Hold on, guys. Let me fix that. Let's fix that. My OBS be OBS in a little bit, but we got it. It's a little perfect. That's a little better. How y'all doing this morning? Good morning, good morning. My sincerest apologies. Yesterday we did not have our office hours. I had a bunch of things going on. Thursday it might be the same scenario because I just have a bunch of appointments and have to run into the city. But um, expect me to be on live 8 a.m. You know, usually. You know what I mean? When things happen, family. You know, I gotta get off live or I gotta go handle some business. So yesterday I was just um, running around doing a bunch of stuff downtown Brooklyn and Manhattan. So again, my sincerest apologies for folks who was expecting to see an office hours yesterday, but hopefully you saw the replay from um, this weekend. So I know some people, could come on during the week and some people could come on during the weekend. I'm kind of trying to figure out if I need to do a late night session and where would I do that. More to come on that for like the late bloomers, the people who are after work or probably after who do like late night gym sessions and stuff like that and want to debrief. I'm thinking about doing a night office hours, but right now morning is fine. It works for me. Um, Especially, sometimes my little guy wake up like he just did a second ago. Like I said, for some reason, as soon as I start going live, you want a drink? All right, go sit down. I got you. Okay, I got you. Go sit down. I got you. I'm gonna cook something. You want to say hi to the live? All right. Say hi to the live. Hi. All right, go. I got you. All right. I got you, Papa. Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss. All right. um. So yeah, this is gonna be close the door for me, Papa. I'll make breakfast in a second. So like I was saying, usually my son is asleep, right, until about 10 a.m. As soon as I started streaming live, he's waking up earlier. I mean, it is what it is. So I gotta make a breakfast in a little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this. So it's gonna be a short little office hours. What are we gonna go over today? ChatGPT Work. I've been getting a few questions about it. A few people are a little confused. What happened to the old ChatGPT? Like, why does my thing look like this? And we're gonna kind of do like a refresher. I know I did a ChatGPT Work kind of office hours already. We're just gonna back up a little bit, go over some resources that OpenAI actually launched when ChatGPT Work launched, and then we're gonna go into my ChatGPT and click around a little bit. So we're probably gonna watch a little bit of videos, but not too much. Just gonna go over some of the quick highlights. ChatGPT did do a live stream. Hold on. They did do a live stream when ChatGPT Work actually first drop. So we could go through that a little bit, but we're just gonna go through some of the highlight videos. The voice feature, which has always been a game changer when it comes to OpenAI's like platform and in general. Me myself, right? A lot of, I mean, outside of like automations and agents and stuff like that, voice AI is like my thing. Um, yeah, voice AI is like my thing. So anytime ChatGPT does an update on like voice AI and like the capabilities and what it can do, I'm just like, oh my God, because okay, I'm not gonna be long-winded, I promise you guys. It's gonna be a short session. But it's like we're in a we're in this era where and if you're a one-on-one client, you hear me say this all the time. Um, we're in this era where we're communicating with AI a lot more freely, right? A lot more like a person, right? It's this agent is becoming a person. This AI is like a person and natural language is how we speak to it. So voice AI for me is really big because if you think about healthcare, what I do in healthcare, language barrier is like really, really big, especially in New York. A lot of times And just being transparent, if you've been in New York for a long time doing healthcare, you know, a lot of these companies aren't set up to handle bilingual people or people who speak a different language. And, you know, patients who might speak Mandarin, Cantonese, Creole, Spanish, and all that, you know, it might look good on paper in terms of like they have like a bunch of providers that are diverse and stuff like that, but when it comes to actually like doing a lot of the client facing stuff or, you know, social determinants of health stuff, um you know, New York is really falling short when it comes to a lot of that stuff. And I've been in healthcare for years, and they're falling short, right? You think of New York as a very diverse place, you know what I mean? So there should be like infrastructure or things where people are able to like access resources, especially when people come over from a different country. You know, English isn't their primary language, you know, and then you're talking about stuff like healthcare, Medicare, Medicaid, Medicare Advantage, right? Dual plans, drugs, prescriptions, and all of that stuff. Like nobody's really helping a lot of people. Like it looks good on paper to get the masses, but when you're actually doing the work, there's so many barriers. Like, for example, there's this thing where, and I don't know who's the provider for this, anything like that. So like no shade, but usually sometimes where you know, people need support, especially around healthcare, there's like a middle person, or there's like a language line or something like that, where you have to then phone in a middle man or a middle woman, a middle person to actually come in, translate, tell the person, and then there's like a back and forth. And it's just that, like, I don't know who came up with that. And again, no shade, I don't know who came up with this middleman system versus actually having the person who speaks the language like do it. Like it's probably the most dysfunctional thing that I ever encountered. But then you have this thing called voice AI, where, you know, you're able to kind of design an agent that's bilingual that could speak the language, train it and stuff like that, especially if you have a large client base in specific areas. Again, if you're talking about New York, New York is so diverse. You skip over to a different block or a different zip code, there's people speaking a whole nother language. You know what I mean? So that's why voice AI is really big for me. But again, not to be really long winded on this, we're gonna just like play some resources, open some ChatGPT Works, click around a little bit so you guys can see my ChatGPT, and then I'm gonna go ahead and cook for my load man. Um, so let's dive deep. Okay, so, oh, wait, before I do that, I'm gonna take the QR code off of the screen. But housekeeping, right? What's in the QR code? There's a few digital products, you know, templates that we went over during office hours, you know, markdown format template, how to build a website using Claude Code, how to design an AI operating system template for your agent, stuff like that. A lot of this stuff is readily available on the internet and stuff like that. If you want to support the cause, you could definitely scan the QR code and support the cause. Also, if you want to book a one-off session, meaning, so there's a few things. There's a one-off sessions and my one-to-one. A one-off session is, hey, Aunt, I am stuck on this problem. I'm trying to figure out this one thing within ChatGPT or within Claude. Can I just sit on a call with you for like 45 minutes to an hour and we hash this thing out? That's one off, you know, we just no commitment. You're just trying to figure something out. I'll, you know, come in and, you know, try to figure this out together. And that's pretty much the one off. And then we have one-to-ones where, you know, I'm meeting with you every week. We're learning AI. We're going through Claude Code. We're going through Codex. We're going through all different platforms. We're going to start with what is AI? What is Markdown format? How to use voice AI? And then how you just start vibe coding, how you start building websites, apps, all that stuff. If you're interested in that point, you could definitely send me an email or a message. Um, I'm not, I want to make this super clear, being that it is the third quarter. I'm probably only taking on one more one-to-one client. Just because, right, it takes a lot of time. It's like being a personal trainer, right? If I'm trying to help somebody or fast track their learning with AI, I'm super intentional. I want to, you know, sit down with them. If you guys are on LinkedIn Live right now or watching the replay on YouTube or anything like that, you could definitely go to my LinkedIn, scroll all the way down, look at my recommendations. You see some of the people that I work with in terms of, you know, in the AI, you know, helping them support their AI needs. So just in case you wanted to go really, really deep on that, readily available, scan the QR code for me, please. So let me go ahead and take this off the screen. I will flash it again. Shameless plug. No shame in my game. Let's let's get into it. All right. Okay. So like I said, ChatGPT released a bunch of resources as soon as ChatGPT Work dropped, right? They did a live stream. So let's watch the live stream first a little bit. Get some water, get some tea, get some coffee. We're just gonna probably watch it for a few minutes. And then we'll go from there. Um, oh,
Hi, everyone.
hold
I
on.
am so excited to be
Side
here.
note. You guys need to watch this video up here on the right side. Right here. We'll probably do that tomorrow. Well, I'm gonna watch it right after this, but Nick Soraya and Sandy Lee having a conversation together. You guys don't know how big that is. You guys don't know how big that is, but we'll dive deep.
Today, we are releasing our latest and most capable models, GPT-5.6, Sol, Terra, and Luna. Sol will be available over the next 24 hours to all our paid plans. And Terra and Luna are also coming to all our free users. Today, almost 1 billion users use ChatGPT every week. They use it for helping getting them to write, getting answers, do research, and all sorts of creative things. But what we've seen, and especially with Codex and the coding abilities, is that these models are capable of much more. We saw a transformation of software development, and shortly after, internally within OpenAI, everyone was using these models to do so much more than getting great answers. They were using these models to do great things. And you were expecting that we were going to release these models, and we are rolling them out over the next 24 hours. But why I'm really excited to be here today is we're not only releasing the models, we're also announcing 3 major product updates. The first one is ChatGPT Work. ChatGPT Work is your new partner for ambitious work. It works on web, it works on mobile, on the go, and also on desktop. The models with GPT-5.6 Sol have really been a breakthrough in their ability to do things of complex nature for you, understanding very complex content, staying on track for long horizon tasks, understanding spreadsheets, creating them, editing even websites. And we're going to be showing you first ChatGPT Work. We're also announcing an all brand new ChatGPT desktop app. It goes even further and allows ChatGPT to work on your local files, your apps, and your browser. Finally, we're also announcing hosted sites, which we are making available for all paid users. It allows you to use ChatGPT Work to create and share those websites with your friends and colleagues. It is a truly magical experience, and I can't wait to show you. First, we're going to have a look at ChatGPT Work. Jessica, Lauren, why don't you show us what they can do?
Hi, I'm Jessica, engineer on ChatGPT Work.
And I'm Lauren. I'm on our strategic finance team.
So we're going to show you the new experience on web and mobile. So let's take a look at mobile. So here we have chat. Chat is the familiar thing you know and love. It's really great for quick answers, search, and brainstorming ideas.
I love the fact, I know that they have like somebody who's like the engineer in that strategic finance. Always a great thing when it comes to like just AI in general, having like multiple different hats in a room.
But today, we're also introducing Work. And Work is where I go to have ChatGPT help me just get stuff done. So for example, something that I did right before to prepare for this launch is, hey, ChatGPT, I would love to get an understanding of how people are using the ChatGPT Work feature internally. Look through Slack and employee feedback and find people in diverse roles that have used the product in really interesting ways. I'm in San Francisco this week for the launch. I would love to meet up with a few people and really deep dive on their use cases in person. So I can send this through mobile, but these conversations also appear on web. And this is something that I actually did earlier. We can take a look at the results. And ChatGPT Work was able to pull from the sources that I asked for, find interesting people to talk to, and then schedule meetings with them while I'm in town. And one of the feedback posts it highlighted was actually Lauren's.
Yeah, our finance team have become such power users of ChatGPT Work. I'm really
Okay, so did you guys just catch that? I know it's a little bit. Let me see if I can actually. Let me just zoom in. Matter of fact, if you guys still probably can't even see it that good. So pretty much what happened was she gave chat, pretty much a prompt or a command at this point, and right, it did a bunch of things. It actually went into Slack, the Google Drive, and Google Calendar, which is major if you're thinking about like your day-to-day work and how AI is being incorporated on like maybe like an enterprise level or mid-tier level. Um, or in operations, depending on whether you're in healthcare, whether you're in finance, whether you're in a lawyer's office and things like that. Now you have this tool that's able to kind of like automate a bunch of things using plugins such as right this Google Suite and Slack to kind of communicate and get information from. So it's like the agent isn't going off of just the agent will is essentially not hallucinating, right? It's going into your database or your workspace and finding the information that you needed, which is amazing, right?
excited to show you how we've been using it, but I would love to hear how other teams have been using it too.
Yeah, we've talked to people throughout the company, like recruiters that are using scheduled tasks to track interview progress and make sure that we're getting feedback timely, and data science who are using our new visualize feature to just add context for quick ad hoc requests. But I think the finances experience was one of the ones that was most compelling to us.
Yeah, I'm excited to show it to you guys. So finance may not seem like the flashiest demo we could be leading this off with, but ChatGPT Work has really enabled us to run with such lean and efficient teams, and we wanted to show you guys a little bit of a peek behind the curtain at how we've been able to do that. So one of the critical roles of a finance team is being able to explain not only our recent trends, but what they mean for forecast in real time. This takes a couple minutes to run, so we did run this earlier today, but let's say we just closed June and we beat our forecast by $2 million. And I do need to caveat, these are demo numbers.
They don't look like the numbers that you shared yesterday, so I'm glad we're not sharing the real numbers here.
Thibault obviously beats his forecast by more than $2 million. These are demo numbers, but a very real workflow. So we ran this earlier today. This used to take so much manual work. We would have to reconcile multiple systems, our Excel forecast model across multiple cases. And now in one pass, ChatGPT can run the variance analysis for me. So we can see why we beat our forecast and where we still have risk. I can even have ChatGPT Work go in and propose an updated forecast case for us. So we had it do this earlier, or we had it run it yesterday. It went through and updated our Excel model. Let's see. Perfect. Yep, we've got our updated revenue in here, our updated forecast. But I can't just walk Thibault and Jessica and our business partners through an Excel model. So we also had it put.
Look how clean and everything. Like essentially, I'm not gonna say a person does not have to do the work. Obviously, you need somebody to kind of use this thing, right? If you're on a finance team, right, this is like a mind, like this is a essential tool for at least sharing information and also like sharing back numbers and stuff like that. Um, if you ever worked in like if you work with like finance teams and you're not on like you're not on the finance team or you're not like a finance person, sometimes it's kind of hard to follow the numbers and see what's going on. Especially if you're in certain roles, and then sometimes the numbers might not even make sense. You like, if somebody in Department of Finance give a presentation or you guys get on a call and they're just talking numbers, you're like, where are these numbers coming from and stuff like that. Like, I feel like with this integration, it can one give people, and this is if you choose to, right, with ChatGPT, you could give people some sort of type of access because you could then create like a site or a dashboard within ChatGPT Work now where people could actually just see these things if you're on a finance team. And then it will actually just give people a lot more maybe like transparency when it comes to the finance and how the business is performing. So I think this is a really great tool. And the fact that it's just integrated in one place is really great as well. it's gonna be interesting to see how this kind of integrates, because it's like I always say, like, Google has the infrastructure to do a lot of this stuff. So if Google really just copy OpenAI, essentially you'll be doing all of this in the Google workspace, right? But like OpenAI is like really innovative in how they're making AI in general accessible to people. And I think that's the big thing, right? You're going from using ChatGPT as like a personal thing to now your day-to-day work.
Put together a PowerPoint presentation that we can use. We've got our latest forecast. We've got our driver's bridge on what's changing in our outlook. And ChatGPT Work will meet you where you are. It's great at Excel and PowerPoint, but our finance team have become such big proponents of Sites. It's such a flexible interface to be able to do custom dashboards and really just like storytell around your analysis. So I also asked ChatGPT Work to go in and make us a site with the same analysis that we can share out. We've got our updated forecast. We've got our driver's bridge. This is looking good. It's good to go. All right, so we've run our variance analysis. Our forecast is updated. We've got our overviews back for business partners. Let's go ahead and have ChatGPT Work send this to Thibaut. Hey, Chat, can you send the site link over to Thibaut on Slack? Thank you. And we'll send that off.
I hope I get that soon.
Yeah.
It is such a delight to receive these highly interactive and compelling websites. In ChatGPT Work, we've seen it perform very similar things across different use cases. Jessica was using it to understand user feedback and preparing ahead of the launch, even scheduling interesting chats with her colleagues in one-on-one through Calendar. And that was Jessica, but Lauren used it for a very different kind of purpose across finance.
All right, so if you guys want to watch that, they live streamed this 2 weeks ago on YouTube. So you guys will be able to kind of just see like a bunch of stuff where, they're able to do dashboards on Excel, like quick and easy presentations. Really, 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 really some great stuff. Let's go into, they just released a video 4 days ago about building with ChatGPT Voice, which is again another update here that they're pushing a lot more for. I'm all for it. Like I just mentioned, like I just went on a little rabbit hole for like ChatGPT Voice and Voice AI in general. But let's just go ahead and check this video out because I haven't checked it out. It's only 1 minute, so.
Hey, chat, put yourself on the projector. Play my day list.
One moment.
So we got to prepare some launch materials for the voice launch next week. Could you help us draft some blog posts?
Absolutely. A simple first pass. Meet Voice in the desktop app. Voice makes it easier to move work forward naturally.
What do you think
Use your
about that?
computer without breaking flow.
Let's ship it.
I got this feature idea for like some last minute polish we can do. I'm gonna ramble a little bit and then I want you to ask me some questions and push back on me.
It looks like we can get pretty far just inside the shader since it already has the audio and phase inputs.
Codex, could you go check the feature flags and make sure they're all configured properly?
Wait, there's also a new bug report in the feedback channel. Can you spin up a new thread, make a pull request, find the root cause?
Let me take a look. Found it. It was that feature flag. Totally misconfigured.
Happens.
We've got everything set for launch, right?
Yeah, I think we're ready to go.
You get the idea. Just set a goal and then tag the team for review later. I'll check in with you from my phone.
Got it. I'll create a follow-up goal for that.
And then just, make no mistakes.
Yeah, so imagine, right? So imagine that, right? Imagine being in an office where you're right, where this is like kind of the workflow where you're just like, you guys are at the laptops, right? And you guys are just like talking to the laptops, getting idea, but getting stuff done. Like I would have loved to be in a work, like in an office and be around people and like just be vibe coding and stuff like that. Unfortunately, I just do it by myself, but that's exactly how I do it, right? You guys see me, I'm usually just sitting talking to my laptop, shouting commands. I wear this mic, not only just for content, but really so my AI could hear me a lot better, clearer. So yeah, this is like, I'm gonna open my ChatGPT in a second as well, but let's watch one more video. This is actually the intro when it actually first came into so they did the live stream and then they did like pretty much an intro video. Just so you guys know, all of this is readily available on OpenAI's YouTube, so you can check it out as well. But let's just see what some of the updates that they have.
Today, we're excited to release a brand new ChatGPT on web, desktop, and mobile. Now, ChatGPT goes from just answering questions to doing work for you by connecting to all of your tools. I can switch from chat to work, and this interface should feel very familiar. But instead of just having conversations, I can hand off real work from here. Take a look at my calendar, Slack, and Drive, and help me prepare for my day. While that's running, let me show you plugins. Some of them connect to the apps you use, others bundle role-specific workflows for sales, data science, marketing, and more. And here we go. It found everything about my day, the notes, and how to prepare for my next meetings. The next thing I want is for this to happen without me asking every time. Let's try this. Can you be my chief of staff and give me a briefing every morning of what I have to prepare for the day? And while the World Cup is going on, can you actually give me the scores of the German team and any other matches that I care about? And that's it. The automation is set and I don't have to remember to ask again tomorrow. And by the way, this also works on the go. The same chat is already on my phone. I can start on the web, leave my desk, and keep going on my mobile. Now, when I want ChatGPT to work with my local files and projects, I move to the desktop app. On the left, I can see all of my projects and everything ChatGPT is working on, but this time with all of my local files as well. For me, this is a big shift. I can give it the context, hand off the work, and then come back when it needs me or has something ready. Let's look at something more involved. I'm going to show you.
So you guys see me all the time where I'm just in Claude Code and in a terminal. I'm probably going to do some tutorials on Codex as well, but essentially now I probably don't even have to use, right, that entire harness and, cursor setup. I can honestly just use these apps. And I think that's exactly the direction a lot of these things are going now, where so OpenAI pretty much, in my opinion, just turned ChatGPT and Codex and fused it, right? They essentially like just made it into like almost like an IDE where you can actually build and chat at the same time. So this is like really game changing in terms of like how you can just build and the access to build. So now, you don't even necessarily, I'm not going to say you don't need the terminal, because you do need the terminal if you want, a lot more freedom to do a lot of stuff. But essentially, you could just go onto ChatGPT, the app, and do a bunch of things, right? A bunch of things, especially if you have a bunch of projects on your computer. I'm actually going to test out ChatGPT a lot more to kind of edit my videos for YouTube, probably do some B-roll. So I'll probably do a tutorial on that when we get back into like our creative bag, right?
3 different examples across marketing, data analytics, and engineering. Let's say I'm building a fictional neobank called Hudson, and we're getting ready to launch our mobile app. Here's the launch side. All of these visuals were generated using ChatGPT and image generation. All I did was give it my logo, my brand guidelines, and it's incredible how many different directions I can explore and how consistent they are with our brand. The next thing I want to do is translate this into an ad campaign. We can now create mood boards for what this could look like. I can now imagine many ideas in less time than it would take for me to explore one. I love this takeover concept. It looks amazing. Next, I asked ChatGPT to turn these into a deck to share with my team. Beautiful, ready for our launch review meeting today. Let's say we just launched the app. Switching gears to data science, I want to understand how it's actually going. The metrics, the user feedback, team conversations, launch plans, all are in different places. And I use ChatGPT to bring them all together. Since it's a data question, ChatGPT automatically brought in the right skills and workflows. And this is what it came up with: activation rates, signups, and even this onboarding funnel. Here I'm using my own data store, but your data could just as easily live.
I really wish, swear to, I really wish this was out when I was working a 9 to 5. I swear to God, I swear to God, it would have took the work and the team from here to, y'all can't even see the screen, right? From here to there. Had we had this at the startup that I was at, or had they really implemented, AI training for operations and providers, this would have been amazing. And they're probably doing it now, but I'm just saying, this is right. This is why you don't need to be skeptical about AI and see the benefits in a lot of stuff. People are like, again, like people are going crazy. AI is taking my jobs and stuff like that. But imagine someone who could come into an organization and use this, right, for transparency, for visuals. Like, you just made a PowerPoint, you just made a presentation. Imagine what it could do for the marketing team. Imagine what it could do for external communications and a lot of that stuff. Like everything, consistency as well. You guys just seen that. This guy just gave it like brand guidelines, the logo and stuff like that. So if you have a marketing team designing different, I want to say like different marketing ad campaigns, maybe something for social media, something for print media, something for billboards, something for pretty much anything, then they're going to be able to be consistent, right, on the branding, on the color. Nothing is ever going to be off if you're using like this specific guideline within, right, ChatGPT or any other AI system.
Live in spreadsheets or a data warehouse. The launch looks healthy overall, but something looks off in Mexico. In fact, ChatGPT already flagged it, and it thinks it might be a phone onboarding issue. So we'll have a look at this in a moment. I could build this into a deck and share this with my team, but a real-life dashboard would be much more useful. So I asked it to pull these metrics into this dashboard. I can visualize it in the in-app browser, and I can click to annotate. Add a one-line summary on how the launch is going. I love collaborating with ChatGPT like this and seeing the changes happen live. Awesome, it looks good. Now I want to share it with my team.
Whoa. That was game changing. So essentially he built a site, right? And essentially he just went to the thing that he wanted to change, told it what to change, and it changed it there on the spot. That's game changing for builders, for anybody building anything, whether it's an app or website or anything like that. That right there is game changer. That I didn't even know you can do that. So I'm gonna go all in on ChatGPT Work all day today. This is crazy.
Sites is a great way to do this. It lets me publish websites directly from ChatGPT. Publish this dashboard, share the link in my team channel, and make sure that the metrics are updated every day. And just like that, we have built and shared a dashboard. Next, it's time to switch to Codex and put my engineering hat on to fix this mobile app issue. If you're already a Codex user, it's the same Codex you know and love, now inside of ChatGPT. Thanks to ChatGPT, we know where to look, but let's confirm what the customer is actually experiencing. I'm going to use the simulator and bring the app on the screen and take an app shot by pressing Command and Command. Review the phone onboarding in Mexico, then in Germany to compare, and click around the main screens. You can think of an app shot as a smarter screenshot. It gives it the app I'm looking at and the context it needs to take action on. It's now triggering background computer use. That is not my cursor. This is ChatGPT using my app. When ChatGPT doesn't have a dedicated plugin, it can use your computer directly. It can do the same thing in the browser with the Chrome extension. Copying and pasting data, browsing sites, or checking a workflow. It looks like customers are indeed getting stuck when they're entering a valid Mexican phone number. That explains why the activation rates are lower. Let's also have it check everything works great for other countries in the background. Now, for the final step, let's actually have it fix the problem. Prepare a fix for the phone number validation bug in Mexico. And when it's ready, I can see the diff directly within Codex, review the changes, and publish this PR so we can ship a new version of the app. So this is the new ChatGPT, one place where you can delegate real work, whether that's in your apps, your local projects, or even your computer and browser. There's really no task that ChatGPT cannot help you with. Hey Chat, I'm done with my demo. Can you play some walkout music? This was only a quick tour, and we can't wait to see what you do with it.
Okay, so man, shout out to ChatGPT, shout out to OpenAI. This is, this is game changing in my opinion. You know what I mean? Like, it's game changing. It's game changing. It's really gonna change how we actually like work our day to day. Um, so I'm just gonna open my GPT a little bit. Um, let me adjust this, and I'm just gonna click around. I'm not gonna build anything concrete. We'll probably save that for maybe tomorrow or maybe this week. We also have another master class coming up. But let me just open my chat GPT for a little bit, click around so you guys can see. Let me make me a little bit smaller, guys. I don't need to be too big. So yeah, chat GPT, obviously, if you go into chat GPT, you're gonna notice, right? If you haven't noticed already, this little tab here that says work and it says chat, right? Work and it says chat. Essentially it looks the same, but you can see that certain things pop up, certain plugins. You're able to kind of see some plugins which we already have access to, the documents, PDF, spreadsheets, file. Um, I'm not sure if anything is connected to my infrastructure like that. But essentially you'll be able to kind of just, right, do this within Slack, choose where to run this chat. Yeah, do this within Slack. Do this within Google Sheet. You can do a bunch of things, right? Let me go over the chat. Yeah, so nothing necessarily changed on the left side or anything like that. All of it is pretty consistent. You're just gonna be able to give this or ChatGPT autonomy to kind of go through your your builds, right? You go through your computer, have access, and do a bunch of things. Sites, I haven't created any sites or anything like that, but then you could create some type of site, which you could then um hmm I built a widget that hmm you know what, I'm gonna test that out later. You can look at scheduled tasks, right? So you can schedule things out. Me, I'm a what again, when I was working a 9 to 5, I would wake up around 4 or 5 in the morning, right? Schedule a bunch of Slacks, a bunch of emails. Um, right? So my routine would be I wake up, right? I wake up, work out, um, shower and all that, meditate, personal development. Got to do that first. Firm believer, I do that first. I don't do anything before I do my personal development. That's just how I choose to work. Work out, meditate, and do all that stuff, and then I will probably get on the computer around. So if I'm waking up around 4 or 5, I'm on my computer around 6. Um, Scheduling Slacks out, scheduling emails out. So that way, by the time people are waking up, right, and I'm probably scheduling them out at like 8, 8:30, 9, regular hours. I was even the guy who would even send the email out like 3 in the morning and then but schedule it, whenever. Um so having something like this scheduled task where I could just say, hey, create a PDF for um, the sales meeting that we have later on today. Make sure it's on brand, use the logo X, Y, and Z, and then share that with the marketing team, right? I can schedule that task, or I can say every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Send me, if I'm on a finance team, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, send me an update on the numbers and our projections, right, for the month, right, to make sure we're on board or on deck for the quarter. You can do a bunch of stuff like that. So I think this tool is gonna be like we're gonna get to a time where, and again, we don't know which one is really gonna be. I think that's the thing. We don't know who is gonna. I think we have so many big players in AI. We don't know who's gonna be the AI for the infrastructure. I'm betting on Google just because they already have like, right. Everybody is on Google right now, so really they just need the update to be super super competitive with a lot of this stuff. But outside of that, you have OpenAI and you have Claude, who are doing super super innovative stuff. So again, we're going back to the conversation where ChatGPT is taking job. I mean, AI is taking jobs and stuff like that. It's actually creating jobs. So now someone is gonna need, right. Companies are gonna need someone to do this, right, to do this part of it. Because essentially, if you have this plus a person or two people, or maybe like a 3 to 4 person team, that's that's departments on departments on departments at that point. You know what I mean? So, um, plugins, right? So you have the plugins. Let's go through some of the plugins here so you guys can see. You have a bunch of things already installed. So I already have documents, PDFs, spreadsheets, presentations, templates, right? Sites, visuals, my drive. Oh, my Gmail is already, my Slack is already connected. Calendar, OpenAI developers, my Apple Music. I remember actually doing that. Though I don't really, I don't really get, I, I need to, I would love to get someone from OpenAI on. Oh, you know what? My goal for these office hours is not only to give people some great information for the free ski, but I would love to invite people onto live office hours with me. If I'm able to get like that, like people from OpenAI, Claude and stuff to come on the office hours is over. It's a game changer. Um, that's the personal brand in me. So featured, we have computer use. I still got to get on computer use heavy because I just still like clicking around. You have the GitHub, you have presentations, data, Notion, right? Dropbox, ClickUp. See all of these ClickUp. You kind of got to pay attention to a lot of the tools that companies are using and then seeing where they're going. So ClickUp, Dropbox, Google Calendar, Canva, these are things that people are using on a day to day, right? At work, at least at the company that I was at. Um, so to have this all in one platform and you're able to just speak to it and it gets the job done, it's going to be crazy. You have developer tools. So people who are on lovable.com or Replit, they'll be able to kind of build their app and deploy it as well, build it within ChatGPT. You have HubSpot, you have Clay, so many like business and operation stuff. What else we have here? Communications, back to data. So you have the Gmail, you have Outlook, you have Zoom, you have Teams, right? All it what? Come on, all of this is already here. So at that point, companies just need someone to be a ChatGPT expert or ChatGPT infrastructure expert to then integrate this into like a super workflow. Like, you know what I mean? Like I will come in and turn this into the super workflow. Education and research, right? So you have Side Scholar. This might be the same people who have the Scholar GPT. I'm pretty sure the logo is the same. So you have like a bunch of things. Security, right? So now, you know, VPNs, if you know, right, secure browsers and stuff like that. When you start to build and do certain things, you have all that there. Finance, right? We have Stripe. Stripe is already in ChatGPT, right? Stripe payment processor. Healthcare. What's in the healthcare? My Fitness Pal. Peloton. Oh, listen, guys, listen. I'm gonna tell you guys right now, whether you're a developer or you're not a developer, it's time to create these apps, right? It's time to create these apps. Um, I want to say at the beginning of the year, none of these things were here. Like none of these companies were into AI. It's July. All of these, look at all of these things that are within ChatGPT right now. At the beginning of the year, none of these things were in here. I think it was only Apple Music and maybe Expedia for the travel stuff. But look at, you know, if you're seeing all of your tools are migrating into a different infrastructure, you kind of want to pay attention to that, right? Yeah, travel. They've been on there forever. They've been on ChatGPT since the beginning of time. So Skyscanner, you're starting to see everybody catch up. I feel like they're ranked at the top simply because they were there early. Same with everything here, to be honest with you. Apple Music. Apple Music was one of the first ones on ChatGPT, right? So I'm pretty sure they're ranked right here. Ticketmaster. So now you can install these apps and you can say, hey, look up the next Jay-Z concert and buy me tickets, right? All of this is gonna be integrated. Then you have other SE DoorDash, you have DoorDash, Uber Eats. Um, wow, wow. So what does this mean? What does this mean, guys? Right? I think it means a few things, right? Let me come to you guys because I'm about to get off. I think it means a few things. Essentially, a new infrastructure is being built, a new day to day. I could only imagine when the typewriter came out and people were like, we can just type this up, or the copier, and we could just copy this, right, instantly, right? Let's buy copy machines for the office, you know what I mean? Or faxing and stuff like that. Essentially, it's kind of the same thing. It's kind of the same thing. This is like a new infrastructure. This is game changing. And we're probably gonna see a lot of this. So if you're thinking about enterprise companies who have a lot of money to throw into AI and they want to implement AI the right way, they're probably gonna, get into like OpenAI, Anthropic. At that point, you're just looking at providers, and then they're gonna be able to kind of just like come in and build this whole infrastructure, and then they're gonna need people to know how to use it. Then they're gonna train teams. I think the last office hours ChatGPT, yeah. So the last office hours ChatGPT made an announcement where if an enterprise company is incorporating OpenAI into their infrastructure, that it comes with an engineer. Which is what it comes with an engineer. So imagine, right? You're like, okay, I want to use ChatGPT. I want to use Google Gemini. I want to use Claude. And then you want this into your business, and it comes with the engineer from the company to kind of implement and troubleshoot and maintain. Whoa, that's game changer, because now you have a different level of access, right? Now you have like expertise in this, right? And then you have people who are being trained and stuff like that. Obviously, that person isn't gonna be able to train your business or train your team. They're not gonna know the nuances. They're not gonna have the rapport. They're not gonna have a lot of that stuff. But to have access to a top tier engineer within AI while you're doing this thing, it's gonna be a game changer. So start to think about that. Like if you're in any type of, and I know I'm specific to healthcare because that's just my network. But if you're client facing, a provider, operations, finance team, marketing team, doesn't matter. Doesn't even have to be healthcare, but any of those teams, you can use this tool to optimize what you're doing, optimize your team, and it's gonna be amazing to see. With that being said, I'm gonna jump off. This has been a chill office hour. I'll be back tomorrow, Thursday. I'm not sure. It might not be an office hour Thursday because I do have to run into the city and get some things done. I gotta go back to the embassy, the Jamaica embassy. What does that mean? I'm about to be out of here, y'all. I'm about to be out of here. No, I'm getting dual citizenship in Jamaica. You guys know my parents are from Jamaica, so always got to go back to, the roots. But now that I've been doing this AI stuff, and my goal is for uh, time, financial, and location freedom. I'm exploring where I could just be in Jamaica and come back to the States here and there. So that's just what I got on my bucket, and AI is allowing me to do that. Um, I want to leave off on a positive note. Oh, somebody asked. So we just watched ChatGPT. We just watched OpenAI. It was on YouTube, but they actually did a live stream. And someone yesterday was like, "Why do you keep going live on LinkedIn? Like, what are you like? What are you doing? Are you trying to attract jobs? What are you like? What are you doing?" And I just said, "Listen, man. Listen. First of all, don't watch me. Watch my live. You know what I mean? You feel me? Don't watch me. Watch my live. But essentially, right? We're in this AI world. We're in this AI world, and I simply told the person." I need people to know that I'm a real person. Just because I'm AI does not mean just because I'm doing AI doesn't mean I'm AI. You know what I mean? Because you mentioned, you're like, yeah, I heard you talking to your son in the background and stuff like that. And I'm like, listen, that's just what you're gonna get from me. You're gonna get the live uncut version of me, because this is the only way I feel like I could stand out through content as well, but also throughout the noise. Like everything is so curated, everything is so AI generated now, and we're still at the beginning of this stuff, right? We're still at the beginning. So imagine what next year, imagine what a year from now is gonna look like when everyone is able to use AI a lot better or is easily accessible. Nothing on the internet is gonna be real, as if anything on the internet is real right now, right? Half the things on the internet is probably not even 80% is not even real. So me going live is me actually letting people know that I am a real person, right? This is not an AI avatar talking. But you guys get to see my personality. You guys get to know that, hey, this person is actually actively building. I'm doing live builds. Um, and I'm integrated into this. You know what I mean? Live, right? It is about to be 9 o'clock. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys are either commuting or on your way to work. So if you guys are watching this live on a replay, you know what I mean? Like, I appreciate y'all, right? I appreciate y'all because um I'm not gonna say there's no real benefit of me going live. It is a benefit because I'm giving out resources, for free, or just talking about AI, because there's no, when I was learning AI, right, I just had to go through like a bunch of YouTube videos, but there wasn't really anybody I can actually like just sit and talk with, who's explaining this, who's clicking this. Like, obviously they have tutorials, but I'm like, live, to see this live, other than doing events like, registering and stuff like that, you don't have to register. All you gotta do is come on my LinkedIn and see me live at 8 o'clock. So with that being said, you guys have an amazing Tuesday. Kill it. Have those meetings. Scan the QR code if you need any digital products, if you want to work one-on-one, if you want to do a one-off training, all of that is there. Also, HIPAA compliance workflow, HIPAA compliance workflow, HIPAA compliant workflow, MD file for your agent. So now you've probably hired somebody to come in, or now you have like this ChatGPT infrastructure into your team, right? And now you want to make sure things are compliant. We've done all the work for you, right? We've done all the work for you in terms of AI and HIPAA compliance on a Google Workspace, right? I think tomorrow, or probably we're probably going to do a masterclass where we're actually going to demo the MD file. But essentially, if you scan the QR code, if you're building your own private practice, if you're in operations and you're starting to incorporate AI, you're like, I need to keep this HIPAA compliant, right? I need to sit with a compliance, or I got to do all this. You download the MD file, you give it to your agent, and the agent is going to walk you through the framework on making sure everything is HIPAA compliant through your Google Workspace. Game changer, right? And these are experts. These are people within healthcare who knows HIPAA. Me, myself, know HIPAA like the back of my hand because of how long it's been drilled into my head at my company. So with that being said, scan the QR code. But I'll see you guys tomorrow, Thursday, up in the air. Uh, Friday, Saturday, half and half. Sunday, no office hours. But expect to see me 8 a.m. on the weekdays almost all the time, unless I make an announcement. At that point, you can just watch the replay from the previous day. But yeah, I know what I'm about to say. You guys know what I'm about to say. Workout. If you have not did your workout for the day, do it. You know what I mean? If you're even running late to work, walk around the block. You're already late. It's 9:01. Walk or jog around the block. Work out before you give the universe your energy. Meditate. Do some personal development before you do all that. You know what I mean? Because that's how you set your day up properly. I'm Anthony. Let's get into it, man. You guys be easy. I'm about to get off the live, cook some breakfast, get some work done. Um, yeah. Send me a DM. Anything you guys want to do, send me a DM. I'm readily available. Take care.